Field's wrapped up. Sorry, I'm running through an arm. And then you, Mr. Safety, it's time we change the way we think and run through you and get to that end zone. And that's the mentality I'm talking about. And Derek Carr, we don't want this check down up there. Not anymore. Not on 3rd and 18. Renfro's open right there because they make mistakes too, and we got just as much skill and ability than the world champions. It's that type of mentality, get in that fight and execute. So execute along with scheme. Defensively, 3-man rush, you got the spy, but eventually what has to happen is you have to win your one-on-ones, and there's Crosby, hustle sack, get Mahomes on the ground, gotcha. That's how you send a message. And to finish the game, we know you want big plays, we're going to rush 3, and we still got our spy. We have zone behind it, and he says, we know what type of quarterback you are. You're greedy. You want the big play. You want to score, but I'm not having it anymore. I'm reading your eyes in zone protection, zone coverage, and then making the interception. That type of execution, that type of mentality, that's what you have to do to beat the world champions, and you have to do it again because the Kansas City Chiefs can beat you in so many ways.
They can beat you in so many ways, but one of the things that you got to be able to stop is Travis Kelce. He plays tight end. He gets paid like a tight end, but he should get paid as a wide receiver because that's the kind of talent that he is. And specifically, I'm talking 2-point stance on 3rd downs. That's when you know it's coming. He's just too athletic to be covered traditionally by a safety the way that most people cover tight ends. You can't do it with Travis Kelce. Here he is again, a different kind of 2-point stance. He's pretending like he's maybe going to help block, but he's not. 3rd down, don't be fooled. He's running routes. He's more athletic than anybody you have to cover him. It's not just his athleticism. It's also that Andy Reid scheme. Here I come. I'm walking down in a stacked position. This is usually a wide receiver route. I'm going to clear it out now. We're stacked. Make these guys think. Make these guys talk, and you're going to get MAs. So sometimes it's athleticism, sometimes it's Andy Reid. Either way, the Chiefs can do this over and over again. Look, Kelce says it. We can do this over and over again. We can do this all day. So you better be ready for it, Las Vegas, because Travis Kelce is absolutely a huge part of this game plan as a wide receiver mindset.
Yeah, and to your point, when he lines up as a wide receiver, he's got 297 yards. That's 204 more yards than any tight end in the NFL. Hence has a slightly higher total QBR in the last 3 seasons. Cleveland is where we find our Kimberly Martin with more on this quarterback matchup this morning. Hi, Kimberly.
Good morning, Sam. With each passing loss, the criticisms of Carson Wentz get louder, and the intrigue surrounding his backup Jalen Hurts grows too. Hurts has only played 5% of the snaps, but Wentz has been on the field for every single one of them. So today, we'll see if that changes based on how Wentz plays. Right now, the Eagles, as bad as they've been playing, are still in first place in the NFC East, but their next 3 games are against teams with at least 7 wins. Now, Carson Wentz is determined to hold on to his job and get the Eagles back on track. On Wednesday, he addressed the team and reminded them to keep believing. When I asked one Eagles player what resonated most with what Wentz said, he told me the quarterback reminded them to stick together, to get back to having fun playing football, and to not let the media put too much pressure on them. Well, today, Wentz will be under a little less pressure with Myles Garrett not in the lineup. The Browns' defensive star is not playing after testing positive for COVID-19. Sam?
Yeah, Kimberly, no doubt that's a huge loss for this Browns defense. But let's get back to those QBs she's talking about, Randy. If you just look at this game, now look, I know there are a lot of variables in this question, but I'm just curious, which QB in this game would you rather have between Baker Mayfield or Carson Wentz?
Really neither one of them.
Well, if you had to choose, geez, Randy, play along.
Well, if I had to choose, it would have to be it would have to be Baker Mayfield. And the reason why I say Baker Mayfield is because when you look at all the struggles and all the injuries for the Philadelphia Eagles, it hasn't really been fair to Carson Wentz. But one thing that's been holding a guy like Baker Mayfield down from the start of the season is the running game. You know, Nick Chubb has been out, but the running game was still there. So I think in a game like today, the pass catchers with all that wetness, listen to me, take the gloves off and just use what God gave you. Let their bare hands touch that ball, but I really think that the run game has really hit Baker Mayfield in the season that he's had, but I think they need to lead on the running game today.
Stop it, please. We're not really saying Baker Mayfield is better than Carson Wentz. Right? We know he's not. I mean, because when I look at this, but today, I think you're right, though. It's going to be Nick Chubb and
Wait. I'm sorry. You can't just
Kareem
do right
Hunt.
past that.
No,
you're
I'm saying
Carson
because he's
Wentz
going
is
to run
better
the
than.
ball. Randy said it. He goes, they're going to run the football. You're right, but I'm not going to sit here and say who do you want
quarterback would you rather
at
have?
quarterback
Who are
today?
you taking?
I will always take Carson Wentz.
Even though he has the
Every
most
day.
interceptions
I don't
in the
care.
league right
I'm
now.
going to always take Carson Wentz. I'm never going to say I'm going to take Baker Mayfield over Carson Wentz. It's just not going to happen. Now, who's going to win the game? I agree with Randy because they're going to pound the heck out of the football with Kareem Hunt and with Nick Chubb. That's what's going to happen.
So I think what you're saying, it's kind of hard to know, right? But I think what you're saying is Carson Wentz is going to have a better stat line, and then Baker Mayfield's going to win the game. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying who's the better quarterback. It came out, the question was, who's the better quarterback? Well, the better quarterback is Carson Wentz and over Baker Mayfield.
Why?
Because, well, if you're going to look at stats, if you just want to see stats, we're just going to gloss over the 42 interceptions by Baker Mayfield?
No, Carson Wentz has the most interceptions in the league right now.
This year, who's he throwing to? If
We're
he had
talking
the
about
same
this year.
opportunities,
Yeah,
no, but I'm just saying there's better quarterback. I'm looking at this.
on, man.
If I see Carson
No.
Wentz with OBJ and Jarvis Landry, he's going to be MVP voting. He's not going to be just a guy that's going to win 3 games.
Oh, yeah, if he had a better offensive line, if he had better receivers. I'm just tired of making excuses for Carson Wentz. All right, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And the bad quarterbacks turn the football over. And that's all it is. I would rather have Baker Mayfield all day right now over Carson Wentz because within that system, he plays better than Carson Wentz is playing in his. Carson Wentz tries to force too many things. He tries to put the cape on, hold on to the football. And is that because his receivers get open? Well, find a check down. Do something. You turn the football over. You hurt the team. That's what Carson Wentz is doing. Let's stop making excuses for him. He needs to be better for
And
him.
on the flip side, I think what Baker Mayfield's doing a great job of is he's playing winning football. He's playing within his system. 5 of their 6 wins. The other quarterback has thrown for more yards than Baker Mayfield. Good. So what? We're 6-3. You're not. This is a matchup with the NFC East. If the Cleveland Browns were the NFC East, they'd be in first place. We'd be talking about them in the playoffs, but they're not. But this is a team that's actually playing good football. But I believe it's basically because he's fitting in and he's letting the offense work for him. I can't speak to all of Philly's issues, but I'll say this about Cleveland. They don't seem to have those issues. When healthy at running back, they don't have those same issues.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys are all wrong. And so I'm going to sit here and be right again, like always, and say that Carson Wentz is going to be. You know what?